What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Weston from A Connection TV here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to my channel. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all social medias. Instagram, A Connection TV, and Twitter, Wes the Good Guy. Now, I am here to discuss a couple things. I want to talk about the color purple, Vivica A. Fox, Taraji P. Henson, Fantasia, Oprah, Daniel Brooks, people that I've spoken to about the color purple, their feelings about the color purple, and all of the drama that is going on with this film. Now, I really didn't know going into, watching this film that it was going to be about so much. I was going to celebrate this film and support the women in this film, Fantasia, Danielle Brooks, Taraji. Mainly Fantasia. Fantasia was my driving force for going to the movies to see this film. But I respect Taraji, and I just wanted to see what they were going to do. I didn't see the Broadway play. I knew that it was going to be more based on the Broadway play versus the original movie adaptation of the book. So, not being an uber stan of either outlet of the film, I'm going in unbiased. I'm going in ready to see good cinema, and I'm going to support. That was where I was originally standing and still stand. But for a lot of people that did not go to see this film is only sitting at a little bit around 54 million with a reported $100 million budget. And I add quotes because now that I Google it, I'm looking it up. It says that the budget was $15 million. So I don't know if they redid this to make sure that people understood that they didn't have the budget. So I don't really know what the budget is because all of the articles are reporting 90 to 100 million with a $40 million marketing budget. Now, when you Google it, it says $15 million budget. So I don't know. I'm very, very confused by this. I'm not understanding it, and I don't know where it stands. If, in fact, the budget was $15 million, reportedly, I'm going to take a screenshot of this too. Reportedly $15 million, then I could see all of the issues and concerns. But then I'm still lost because $15 million. $15 million? What? And it's interestingly enough, like $100 million, I could see it. $15 million, I could see with all the concerns that they had. But either way, I want to talk about the dynamic between people that are biased to the original versus the remake, or people that have seen the Broadway play versus the remake. So I was speaking to a friend of mine, and he was like, I saw all three. He said, I saw the original, I saw the play, and I saw the movie. He didn't really care for the movie because the movie was a spitting image or a spitting remake, complete remake of the actual play. Everything that was in the play was in the film, wasn't nothing new. So to him, it didn't really speak to him. And, he felt like there was no need to remake the original because the original is the original. There's no need to touch it. It was great for what it needed to do. And there was no point in making the original. And he feels like the remake cannot live up to the original. And it's a copycat of the Broadway play. So with that mindset, sure, maybe the remake was not for him. Maybe the remake is exactly how he feels that it is. And it should have never been done. Okay, cool. But automatically there are biases there, right? Because he originally saw the original, he saw the play, he had expectations, and he was let down. So it just was what it was. Then you put me in the situation, didn't see the original before the remake, and didn't see the Broadway play before the remake. I'm going in unbiased. I'm going in fresh set of eyes, fresh set of mindset at my current age, modern film era age. And I appreciate everything that this film accomplished for me as a viewer, and for for playing commentary about, the situations that these women had to endure in this film, right? And so I did a review initially, and some of the comments were like, well, one comment was like, I don't understand how he thinks he can review this film if he didn't see the original. It's just stupidity at best, because you can review anything that you see. You can review anything that you experience. You can have your opinion about anything that you experience. You don't need to have walked this lane to have an experience about another lane that you've walked. You see what I'm saying? So for me, I was able to articulate how I felt about the film that I watched, because I watched it from the beginning to the middle to the end. And if I loved it, I loved it. There's nothing wrong with that. If people don't like the film, they don't like the film. There's nothing wrong with that, until you are able to realize that you do have certain biases automatically going in. And so if you do have those biases, you aren't giving the film a fair shot. And that's period. Because I had those same biases, or I do have those same biases whenever I see a remake. The last remake that I saw was The Little Mermaid. I already had my issues going into the film because, it was a Black actress playing a character. I'm a purist, so I like things to remain the same. And so long story short, I already had my biases with going into the film. And to my buddy's point, one thing that I didn't like about The Little Mermaid was that it was a carbon copy of the cartoon. So if I'm watching this remake and I saw the Broadway play, I can understand why people wouldn't like that aspect of it because it was a carbon copy. But I was still able to acknowledge that certain things were wonderful and amazing in The Little Mermaid, even though it wasn't like my fan favorite film. For The Color Purple, after watching the original, I understand now why a lot of my Black counterparts have laughed at the original, mocked the original, find the original to be pure comedy and hilarious. Because going back to watch that film, I could not take it serious. I could not take the film serious. And I just laughed at a lot of the ongoings in the original film because it was funny. The acting was funny. The directing was funny. The placement was funny. It was just funny. Not the entire film, but the poignant, severe, serious undertones in the remake were missing in the original. And people may beg to differ. People may say, Whoopi Goldberg was one of the best actresses or the best actress in the original. I just so happen to disagree. I feel like Oprah stood out to me in the original. Oprah was fantastic in the original. But still, having watched the remake, none of them can hold a candle to Danielle Brooks. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. When I watch the original version of the remake, I get emotional. I get upset. I am teary-eyed. When I watch the original, I don't get none of those emotions. None of them. None. It is what it is. And so, again, people can have their biases or, like what they like, don't like what they don't like. That's fine. But a lot of people are ripping the remake apart. And I think that's unfair because these women did a phenomenal job in the film. The men did a phenomenal job in the film. Coleman is just exquisite. Danielle Brooks, exquisite. Halle Bailey did a fantastic job. Taraji P. Henson, she did okay. Fantasia Barrino. A lot of people are coming down on Fantasia saying that, Cynthia Erivo is better, or Jennifer Hudson did better, or she's not Whoopi Goldberg. She's none of those people. She's Fantasia, and I think Fantasia did an amazing job. The ending scene of the remake when Fantasia's reunited with her family, I am emotional. I get emotional. All of the other iterations of that same scene, I'm either laughing or don't feel any connection. So it is what it is. People like what they like, and that's okay. But I want to talk about Vivica Fox, going in to say, I don't have them problems on TMZ. And everybody's coming down on her neck. And everybody's saying, well, yeah, you don't have those problems because you're not Taraji and you're not Oscar nominated and you're not this and you're not that and you're not that. Don't sleep on Vivica Fox. Why would we sleep on Vivica Fox? Vivica Fox has accomplished a lot and is still a working actress. You know what I'm saying? Vivica Fox has Independence Day, Kill Bill. Like, she has so many movies under her belt. She's been in blockbusters before. Set It Off, one of my favorite roles of hers. You know what I'm saying? And so if Vivica Fox is saying she doesn't have those problems, why can't she say that? because in that same video, she's stating that, I feel, bad for my sisters and, I stand with my sisters, but I'm good over here. I don't have those problems. I can get why people can be a little irritated by that because it shows that Taraji is standing alone. But unlike Monique, Taraji is receiving, support. Danielle Brooks came out and said that they had to be in the same working environment. They didn't have dressing rooms. They didn't have, separate trailers or places to rehearse. They were all, up under each other. Said there was no food. Fantasia recently is in support of, Taraji P. Henson and Danielle Brooks and their claims. She's not coming out and talking about it like they are. But all of these women just so happen to have these particular issues, and Taraji P. Henson is making a stance and a stand on it, saying that she almost turned the role down. In my mind, you ended up doing the film. So if the first offer that they gave you, you turned down, now you're in the film, I'm to safely assume that you got the offer that you wanted. Or didn't and decided to do it because what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm confused. Like, why, if you had the opportunity to turn down a specific offer and you weren't going to do the film, why then do the film and then still complain about, you know what I'm saying, the money that you potentially received or whatever? I just don't understand that. But then when I look at this again and it says $15 million, I don't know why it bumped down from $100 million, but it says $15 million. If this film was $15 million to make, then I can understand them not having all of these things that they wanted, the drivers and the rental car situation. Fantasia saying she loved driving herself. It's not a problem for her. But this is industry standard, specifically for studio films, because it is an insurance and a liability situation if your lead supporting actor who has already filmed some scenes ends up getting in a car accident because there wasn't a driver or there wasn't someone picking them up and they had to drive themselves, or if they're driving 12 to 13 hours, filming 12 to 13 hour shifts, they're not getting food, they're not getting sustenance, and then they have to drive home at night or drive to the hotel at night. That is dangerous, and you've already shot 40 scenes. That doesn't make sense to me why someone or these people of this particular film would not get the things that they've been complaining that they haven't gotten, right? But then we go to Oprah Winfrey, and everybody's blaming Oprah for it all. Now, in my original version, for me, like, as someone that produces independent films, not on a studio level, I don't have, cast and crew and all that stuff. As a producer, I still know what's happening on set, right? But I'm kind of thinking that Oprah is not just a producer, because she's not listed here as an executive. She's listed as a producer. But she's not just a producer. I'm really thinking of her as like a face, a figurehead to the film. Someone that is still in Hawaii in her mansion while everyone's filming and shooting over here. Obviously, we see her on some of the sets. We see her with some of the actors. Doesn't mean that she was there all the time. Doesn't mean that she was a part doing the 12, 13-hour shifts. She could have came on for 10 minutes, 30 minutes and left. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really see Oprah as that person that's not even bothered, but just wanted to be the face because she was in the original adaptation of the film. That's how I see it. Now, everyone's thinking that, she's hands-on, she's that chick. But if, again, I'm looking at Google, Steven Spielberg, Oprah Winfrey, Quincy Jones, Scott Sanders, Kathleen Kennedy, Frank Marshall are all producers on this film. Then you have Alice Walker, Kristie, Macosko, and more as executive producers on this film. And it's, so many hands and so many people are involved. I'm looking at Oprah being up here sitting somewhere drinking a latte. It's like, how's everything? Okay, great. I'll see you next week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm picturing her not being a part of the ongoings is what I'm saying. And so there's a possibility that Oprah did not know about all of these things. But in front of Danielle Brooks, in front of Fantasia, and in front of Taraji, Oprah has said, I didn't know these things were happening, but when I did find out, did I not correct them? And all of the actresses say, yes, you did correct them. So I don't know why still people are finding it hard to believe or coming down on Oprah's neck, because no one's mentioning Steven Spielberg, no one's mentioning Quincy Jones, no one's mentioning Scott Sanders, Kathleen Kennedy, none of these producers when it comes to The Color Purple. Everyone are honing in on Oprah, mainly because, I'm assuming, because she was a part of the original. And Oprah has been in other controversies, and, you know, Oprah's a billionaire and she's a black woman, and this movie is centered around black women. So, you know, people are holding her feet to the fire. But it's really interesting, one, how people don't want to give this movie a chance, but they're championing everything that Taraji is allegedly standing for. But y'all aren't going to see the movie that she needs to secure in her resume to make sure that she gets the bag for the next movie, if that makes sense. Like, if someone's talking about their pay inequity and how black women don't get paid enough, and they come from this high profile film and it doesn't make money at the box office, what makes you think that Taraji is going to be able to then go to the next studio and say, hey, I'm worth 10 to 15 million, when we know that she's complaining about pay inequity, one, and we know that the movie she just came out of only made 54 million and allegedly had the budget of 100 million or around 140 million. Let Google tell it 15 million. We're still not going to pay you. The people aren't going out to see you. They want to chime in on social media, but they're not giving a damn about the box office. If the movie took 100 million to make and 40 million in marketing, that movie has to at least hit $200 million to become profitable. At least. You see what I'm saying? And y'all are out here complaining that it's not the original. Y'all are out here complaining this and complaining that. Y'all not even helping support these black women so they can get more roles. It's beyond me, and it doesn't make any sense. The Color Purple remake was a great film, a standalone film by itself. The original, Color Purple, was a cool film. I don't see the hype, but it was a cool film. Oprah Winfrey's performance, stellar in that film. It's just really comedic. I was laughing at a lot of the shit, to be honest. And I didn't go see the play, but there were so many different versions of the play. You know, now the conversation is who did it best. Fantasia, Jennifer Hudson, or Cynthia Erivo. All women did a great job. All adaptations of the book are great. But it speaks, you know, everything speaks to people differently is the whole point of this video. And another point, leave Vivica alone. Vivica is established. Vivica was working and is working. Vivica is an icon when it comes to black women in Hollywood, period. You know, and Taraji can be that as well. Oprah, let's think about it, could have just been a figurehead or face, not knowing anything. It happens. You know, it happens. CEOs of McDonald's don't know how the McDonald's is running in Camp Creek in Atlanta. The CEO of McDonald's don't know. They got people that are in charge to make sure that it runs correctly. Every Walmart is different. Every Target is different. You know what I'm saying? Every shopping mall is different. I just had to put that out there. Anyways, leave your comments below about this video. Did you go see the remake? Are you a part of the reason as to why they made the 54 million? Or are you a part of the problem as the reason they did not, because of your own biases and maybe because of the drama surrounding the film? I will say before going that I wish Taraji would have allowed this film to breathe before stomping on its glory. But whatever, you got to do what you got to do. Some people are saying that her life might be, you know, a struggle behind the scenes because she clearly needs money. Allegedly, that's what people are saying. And that life is tough for her. I don't know any of that to be true, but at the end of the day, I feel like the remake is great. Fantasia did fantastic. And if I had to rank the actors and actresses, Danielle Brooks #1, Oprah #2, then Fantasia, then Whoopi. And that's just how I feel about it. Y'all can be mad all y'all want. Anyways, leave your comments below. Let me know what you thought about my comments towards everything that's going on. And shout out to Gabrielle Union for being messy. Deuces.